Are we live? Wow, I think we're live. This is the first live video I've ever done. So this should be pretty interesting. Let's see. You can see our screen. Let's adjust this a little bit. Cool. Nice. Doesn't fit very well. I wish I could make this. I guess I could make it bigger. Picture display capture. Oh, it's locked. We can't make it bigger. How do we do that? Let's do it. We want to go the opposite direction. We want to make it smaller and appear larger on screen so I can make myself comfortable and everyone else who can deal with small text sizes on their mobile phone. That makes sense. Cool. Alright, we're streaming. Let's look at how do we share this with people on Facebook. There's a share button on YouTube. Here, let's just do this in front of everybody. Share a live stream. Aaron Silber live stream. Can we name it something else? It's kind of lame. Let's see. No. There we go. KV Homebrew Club. Come on. We gotta stream this in here. Building a new KVHC website. Live. Oh my goodness. So many people are going to want to see this. Let's post this link. All right. As a creator, how do we see comments? Oh, top chat. All right, there's nobody chatting. We need some chatters. That's what we need. I need to verify that it works. Kenny Grayley likes my comment. Kenny, if you see this on YouTube, please comment so I know things work. I don't know that these things work. It's my first go around. I'm not sure that matters if it's your first because I see veterans, not like actual veterans, but veteran live streamers. They always check with their audience to see if things are working. So if you see this, put a comment in the chat so I can see that everything's working as planned, or my plan is for just to barely achieve a stream. So we have one viewer. That must be Kenny. Kenny, comment. Somebody comment in the chat. I don't want to do this if it's not working. Otherwise, I'm just going to do it all by myself. Let's see. All right. All right, we're building a new website for the Kanawha Valley Homebrew Club. It's going to be pretty fun. We're going to try to keep things fairly simple. simple in terms of web dev knowledge. But we're trying a couple new things. One is we used Figma to design this, which is fairly new for me, even though it's been around in the community for a while. But I really enjoy the experience of designing components and putting them together. You can kind of see the full interface for the new site. This is what we're building. We're going to build this. It's a pretty simple informational / marketing site. Could be a lot of fun. And because of my day job, I'm used to kind of building more bigger engineering things. We're gonna use a static site generator called Eleventy to build this. Eleventy, and basically, what a static site generator does is, instead of like a content management system like WordPress delivering a result for every page that you request, and that page is like all pulled together from the application, a static site returns a fixed result for every request to a given route or a given URL for the page. So you kind of pre-bake the site, and then those pre-baked pages return to the user, and it's really fast. And Eleventy makes this like very easy to do up front. And that's one of the goals for this project. Anytime I build things, I think about the audience for the product, but I also think about the audience that is the people I'm working for, and whether they can maintain this if I have an untimely demise. And in this case, the organization I'm working for is a bunch of homebrewers, and I'm not sure that there's another developer in the club. So, someone that's barely a developer should be able to kind of follow the instructions and get up and running to modify the site that we build with Eleventy. So I think this is a really good pick for this sort of site. On top of Eleventy, we're also using something called NetlifyCMS. Netlify is a modern hosting environment for these kinds of static sites or Jamstack sites. So this is what we're going to be using for the site, and I've already set this up. So I've got github.com. We've already got an organization set up for the Homebrew Club. Actually, I need to go to repositories. I don't know, organizations. Canal Valley Homebrew Club. So our Homebrew Club has a GitHub account, which is fun. And we have one project for our website that we're building. kvhomebrew.club is the actual URL for our new website. I'm usually not a fan of vanity domains, like these weird extensions like .club, because most people only know .com, .org, .gov, .edu. But in this case, .club seemed to be fun, and we'll use that. So we have a repository for this. I'm going to kind of market this as a solution for all homebrew clubs. So if you find this video and you're a developer and you are also in a homebrew club, feel free to submit pull requests, or to fork this, or to share it, give advice, that kind of thing. That'd be a lot of fun. So hopefully all of the homebrew clubs, at least all the homebrew clubs in the AHA, can get a nice site out of this project. Should be pretty fun. Anyways, this is the code side of things. It's what we're going to spend a lot of time in. But one of the things I always think about when structuring a CMS, a content management system, which is, if you're a layman, like a content management system is an application, a web-based application that you can log into, and you can edit the content of a website. For most people, you probably have some experience with WordPress, or you at least know what WordPress is. If not WordPress, maybe Squarespace. If you're a small business owner and you want to get started really quickly on the web, you can create a Squarespace site pretty quickly. There's also Wix and that sort of stuff. These are fundamentally different architectures because something like Squarespace or Wix is a software as a service platform. So you pay them money and then they allow you to use their platform to build a website for yourself. Whereas WordPress is an open source platform that you can use and you can host it wherever you want. So you can put it on your own server in your basement if you want. Although I don't recommend that outside of curiosity. But like these are different. NetlifyCMS allows us to host these the site on their site, and they have a pretty generous free tier. So that's another reason we're using Netlify, is because we can basically build this site, this pretty nice site for a homebrew club, and we can host it for free in Netlify. And it also gives us the ability, I think, to have up to 5 editors for our site. So we're going to build like a little CMS that we can use to edit the different types of content on our site. So this is kvhomebrew.club. Not HV. Homebrew.club. This is kind of like the starter installation for a NetlifyCMS project. It uses this neat starter template, and it kind of gets us started. Again, I'm completely new to Eleventy and I'm completely new to NetlifyCMS, but it seems simple enough. We'll work through this. As far as I can see, like there are some basic types of starter content or structure in this template that we can model the rest of our content off of. But there's a blog, and in most content management systems, like a blog is the kind of the hello world of building a CMS. So I think that's pretty interesting, and you can click this and you can see how fast this is too. These sorts of static sites are extremely fast, which is, it's always good on the web, especially these days. People don't want to wait for anything. So we're piece by piece. We're gonna look at this code base and we're gonna start replacing things. It's this project. If you're showing up and hoping that things are just gonna look great immediately, that's not gonna happen. It's gonna be a while before things start to look good. So you might want to tune in like episode 20 for the lipstick on this project. All right, so that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and think about how we're going to structure our content on this site. That's the way I usually think about most of these projects. What are the things that we're going to be creating on this project that aren't unique? Like the homepage of the site's going to be, it's not going to be something that we're going to create a type of content for in this sort of site. So the homepage, I think we're pretty much going to like hand code this. So this is all one-off types of content. I'm not worried about this. But if we look, I do have a template for a basic page. And a basic page has title, has a featured image slot, and it has a body field as well. So that's what this field is here. Like this is just a body field full of filler content for this demonstration, for this design. So we're going to have a basic page that basically has 2 fields, or 3 fields, a title, a featured image, and body field. And then we're going to have an events directory or display that shows us all the upcoming events. So we know we're going to have a structure for an event itself. And then we're also going to have a page that displays events that are in the future. And then we're going to sort those descending. So the next event will be the first, and then we'll go backwards from there. And then beneath that, we'll have another display showing the past events from the club. So these are all the events that we've published previously that have already happened. And the reason we want this is we want people to be able to have an archive of past content. So if we invite someone that's involved in the manufacturing of yeast for beer, it would be really nice to be able to record that session and then be able to provide notes to them and any of the advice that they gave us in that meeting. So that's the purpose of being able to kind of view past events. Let's see, like this is an event page itself for brewing water chemistry. This is just an example. This actually just happened, but I didn't have any content when that happened. And so an event itself has a lot more fields. It has a lot more types of content. It has a date for when the event happens. It has a subtitle. It also has a location, and that could be a physical location or, especially during COVID. This has been a digital meeting, an online meeting, so there was a link to that Zoom meeting. That's kind of interesting. Like, once the event ends, is there a point to showing the Zoom meeting link? I don't know. There might be. I don't know if they provide you an archive at that point. But then there's also there can be a video for the meeting if we had published and saved a video from Zoom. And then there's a body field, again, just like a blog post. And then there's also some fields for special guests, just to list the people that had been invited. Or, we can get creative and list new members and that kind of stuff there. And also links to resources. So for water chemistry, we had like a brew-in water spreadsheet that a lot of people use, but some people also use other software packages to do that, so we can provide links for that sort of thing. So yeah, we have an event content type. We've got a basic page content type, and then we're going to have a recipe content type as well. It's just kind of, you're going to have the typical fields for a homebrew recipe. I think it's also possible that we could end up with a member content type if we wanted to proudly display beautiful portraits of all of our homebrew club members. That could be kind of fun. So this is what we're gonna try to fumble through building. I'm not gonna get very far tonight, but it's still gonna be fun nonetheless. Let's see if I can get this browser positioned correctly. So this is the code base for an Eleventy site, primarily Eleventy, but it's also got a bunch of information for NetlifyCMS. It also comes with Tailwind, which is a CSS architecture. It's a utility first CSS architecture, which makes it pretty fast to build things. And then we also have some other utilities involved. There's something called Alpine, which is kind of like a Tailwind for JavaScript. It kind of lets you very easily add features to a site without having to write, all the normal JavaScript interactions. You can do it in a way that's closer to the Vue syntax, if you've ever used Vue.js. So that's kind of interesting. But if we're going to structure content, I think we should probably start in this admin directory in the config.yaml. There's something called collections, as I understand it. And so you can see the first collection is this blog. There's a blog collection. And a blog has fields. And these are the sorts of things that we want to make for our site. And there's also settings. And when you build a site based on Eleventy and NetlifyCMS, the collections here show up in the CMS side of things. So let me go back to here. KV home. Oh, I keep doing that. kvhomebrew.club. If I go to /admin, I can log in. It's already logged in based on my GitHub credentials, and then you can see the collections show up here in the left-hand menu. So we have a blog collection, and we have a settings collection. The blog collection, this is going to be really similar to what we need for a basic page. If we create a new blog, you'll see that there's a title, which we're going to need for a basic page, and we're going to need a body field. There's also other fields for metadata, like when it was published. So you can put a published date in here. You can also specify an author. For a basic page, we don't want to display an author, so I think we'll probably omit the author field. And the description, I'm not sure how they're using a description here. They could be using it as a subtitle, or they could be using it as an abstract for teaser displays of the blog post itself. So that's, and it's interesting, you can also have tags. I wonder what tags look like in here. Widget, select, label, tags. Alright, so this is a field, but it's not set up like an object using this syntax. It's a little different. Create true options. Tags created from config.yaml. That's interesting how that array works. I don't know. So this is all settings. Well, let's just do this. Let's just copy all of this and make this a basic page. Cool. Let's change the folder to pages, and this folder is where this content is stored, I believe. Source, blog, and there's an index.html here. So that's actually the layout for the blog. The posts actually go down here. Let's see. No, posts is right here. Source, posts. So basic page. Source, pages. That makes sense to put our page content there, I guess. We can always change it. I don't think that's a problem. Or maybe it will be, because I'm not sure we can have canonical URLs in Eleventy. It's not that smart. I don't know what create true does. I'm going to leave it. Editor preview false. I don't know what that does either. So we can look it up off stream. Basic page. What do we got to change the machine name. Let's just change it to page. I don't need a description. We don't need an author. Publish date. Sure. Body. What else do we need? We do need a featured image. I'm guessing the order of these fields is how they display in the admin CMS, NetlifyCMS. So I tend to like to put, honestly, I like to put things like publish date below. We also don't need tags for this guy. So publish date, and then we need a featured image. Featured image. Let's just do image. Widget. I don't know this. I need to look this up. Let's see. NetlifyCMS collections. And we'll probably have to look up widgets. Widgets. There's a whole page for widgets. Of course there is. Default widgets. We can have an image. Name, image. UI. You can pick a File Picker button opens Media Gallery, allowing image files. Only display selected image thumbnail. Cool. So the widget name is image. So widget image. Yeah. And I like featured images to appear between the title and the body field for most content. I wonder if that's enough. Do we have to specify where it's saved, where these images are saved? There's an example name, thumbnail, widget, image, default, upload. Oh, default image is nice, but we don't want a default. We just want it to be empty if there's no image. Media library config multiple true. Does that mean you have multiple? I don't want multiple for this, but that's kind of cool. Settings to apply when a media library is opened by the current widget. So allow multiple allows you to select multiple for that field. Yeah, we don't care. We don't want that. Basic page. All right, let's see. What is this? Is this in packages.json where we can run? Do we just do like npm build? Or do we do start? Browser sync, post CSS. It's doing a bunch of stuff. Oh, it's writing all of our content. Guess what this? It's 80. Let's just go. Oh, it opened. Okay, so this is local. I'm not sure we can get a local. Oh, come on, it's opening like a million times. Yeah, if you ever had anyone quadruple click on a link on a website, you know how that can drive you nuts. I just did it. Let's log in. Looks like you're running a local server. Please let us know the URL of your Netlify site. Is this the kvhomebrew.club? Set the site's URL. Do I have to do like a full? I don't know how to do this. Interesting. Search the docs for local development. I think it was going to autocomplete for me. Working with a local Git repository. No, that's not what we want. We want a local development for overview. Sounds good. If you're experimenting with NetlifyCMS or testing things out, you can connect it to a local Git repository instead of a live one. README. Let's do a markdown preview to the side for all the basic people. Come on. Command markdown, it resulted in an error. I don't know why, it just worked. Okay. Yeah. Run build, is that what we did? We ran Eleventy, run start. So that's the thing that save config.yaml. Yep, it recognizes the change and it does a bunch of writing. Cool. NPXing going on in here? Oh, there is. NPX NetlifyCMS proxy server. Let's open a new terminal. Put that in there. It's gonna probably install some stuff. While we're waiting, Nathan Anderson, I could do better in SharePoint. Probably. It's just Eleventy, bro. It's not special. We're building a static site. This is like, you know, if you followed this, you could probably build your own website for about anything. Big step one in a career of software engineering. I wonder how many people we have watching. We got like 5 likes. Nice. Thanks for chatting, Nathan. Now I know it works. I'm not talking to nobody. 30 browsers. It's listening. Proxy server configured. So what does this mean? Does this mean when I go to aha, it works. Oh, that's slick. I like that. So now we do have a basic page content type or collection in Eleventy world. Create a new basic page. We have a title. We have a featured image. You can choose an image from your local file system somehow. Nice. I like that. And or you can insert from a URL. That's kind of cool. If you want to steal some images from the internet, you can pretty easily do that. And then the body field works, publish date. So big brew, little brew. Let's just say. So big brew, little brew is actually our official mentorship program. If you want to learn how to brew, you want to kind of like saddle up with an experienced brewer, you can do that. You just got to sign up. And then publish date. Yeah, now it's fine. So we can publish. We can publish and create new. What does that mean? What's the difference? Publish and duplicate. So is publish like same as save? Because I could see you having an existing article making changes and saying save and duplicate. Or is this like, I don't know. There's only one way to find out. Oops, you've missed a required field. I don't want featured image to be required. So how do we make a widget not required? All right. Image, default widgets. Is there required in here? Required. Specify as false to make a field optional. All right. That's what we're doing. Basic page, content type field, featured image. False. And so we can see the magic happening when we save. It does a bunch of work. Reloading the browsers, buffer 12 events. And then if we go back to, do we have to refresh or can I just hit publish? No, I gotta lose all my progress. Test. Publish. Now. It still says the featured image field is required. I don't want it to be required. I put required false here. What changed? File change, source admin config.yaml. Yeah. True. sure. Let's reload. Let's reload this too, because this is an SPA, I think. Publish. Nope. Test. Publish now. Hey, it worked. Yeah. So you had to yeah, you can't just like go back. It's not like a different page. It's an SPA. So I think this whole thing's a React application. And Brave. I just installed the Brave browser and I don't have the React tool set up. So, all right, cool. So that's published. If we go back, we can see we have Big Brew Little Brew as a basic page. Blogs here. I wonder what happens to all the blog content if I remove the collection. That's interesting. Let's find out. Commented all that out and then go back. Oh, it's reloading itself. The collection is gone. The basic page and settings are the only two collections that exist. And then the data. Actually, the posts are still here. Well, at least I think they are. Let's refresh this directory. And then, yeah, all the posts are still here. So I think if I add that collection back, yeah, they're still here. So you don't lose your content if you remove a collection schema. That's interesting. Is there a way to make it so it I don't need to know this to build this site, but this is the rabbit hole that we go down. This isn't an Eleventy. This is Netlify. Well, maybe, I don't know. See, this is part of the problem. I don't know what NetlifyCMS is doing and what Eleventy is doing. Of course, they're working together to make this possible, but I don't know. I don't know who is responsible for, removing the content if the collection is removed. I think the collection is Eleventy. Let's see, Eleventy collections. Yeah. No, I don't want Eleventy clothing. Eleventy collections. Yeah, collections is something that belongs to Eleventy. Collections using tags. Or maybe it's not. Maybe this is something completely different. So yeah, so something else that's interesting about Eleventy is that you can display data in a long list of different display technologies. Liquid, Nunjux. Looks like you can create exports in JavaScript to return. Like these two things are exactly the same. They give you the same result. So that's kind of cool. I think we'll probably use Liquid and Nunjux. Kind of reminds me of Twig. I'm used to using Twig and PHP, so we'll stick with that. So I think the collections is something that Netlify is using to build that NetlifyCMS. So that must be how the NetlifyCMS understands how to structure content and then how to add it to your site. Can you use different? Yeah, that's cool. So you can. It looks like you can have different types of languages. Not that our homebrew club needs a Spanish or French version of our site, but that would be cool. All right, so this is not the one we want. This is the live version. This is our local version. And we don't need the blog, so I'm just gonna comment the blog out because we don't need it here. Do need a basic page. What else did we say we needed? This is basic page. Good to go. An event. So we need to structure an event. Title, subtitle. All right. We're just gonna. Yeah. Let's not copy paste. Let's do this from scratch. So this is an event. Name is a machine name, so it's like just go lowercase. Version of the same thing with underscores instead of spaces, or that sort of thing. Source events. We'll put all the events content in the events directory. It seems like that's the prescribed format for where we put our content. I think Eleventy is fairly agnostic when it comes to how you structure an Eleventy site, but we're just gonna go ahead and roll with this. What does create true do? All right, collection types, folder collections. Create for folder collections only. True allows users to create new items in the collection. It's not apparent to me why you would want this to ever be false, which is the default. Like, in what case would you want a collection where users cannot create new items in the collection? Huh. Weird. We don't need to know. We need this to be true, though, to do what we're doing. So, preview false for editor. What's the preview for? Preview path. That's not what we want. The setting changes options for the editor view of a collection or a file inside a files collection. It has one option so far. Preview set to false to disable the preview pane for this collection or file, and it defaults to true. I'm not sure what the preview pane is. See a preview pane. I guess there's a preview pane. All right, we're learning. So fields. All right, so these are it's a YAML, so yeah, we're gonna need a title, name. Title's fine. I think we can share field names across types. And then we're also going to need a subtitle. String's fine. What else do we need? We need a date. So let's figure out if there's a special field for a date. I believe there is. Let's see, widgets. Date. Deprecation notice, the date widget has been deprecated, which means don't use it anymore, it's old. And will be removed in the next major release. Please use the date time widget. Alright. So, date time. You can configure a default accepted date time string or an empty string to accept blank input. Format, date format, time format, picker UTCs. So interesting. What does picker UTC do? When set to true, a date time picker will display times in UTC. Yeah. Editors don't want that, so let's grab this. And then interesting. Okay, well, we can just screw up. Oh, we can have these comments in here. Oh, this is a date time. All right, let's just keep going. Location. I think we just want location to be text field, because it's got to be kind of flexible in the way we do this. So what is a widget string? Is there like a text area widget? There usually is. Text string. What's the difference? String widget translates the basic text input to a string value. For larger text inputs, yeah, use text widget. So we're going to use a text widget for this because a string's probably not going to give us a WYSIWYG editor, so you're not going to be able to put links in it. So let's use text. We'll find out if we're right in a little bit. What do we want to do about this? I think we might actually want a featured image field and then a stream URL or maybe an embed. And once an event has occurred, on the display side of this event, we won't show the, we'll no longer show the featured image, we'll show the stream if it's available. And that would just kind of happen automatically. That way we can still use the featured image in teaser displays of an event, but on the full page display of an event, once the event has occurred, which just means like, you know, today's, you know, this moment's time is greater than the time for the event, we can display the stream in lieu of the featured image if it's available. So we're going to need two fields. Let's do it that way. And we already have a featured image up here, so we'll use that. And then this is a, I'm not sure how we want to do this. I'm not sure. Does Zoom give you a stream URL? Oh, well, we're going to host these things on our YouTube channel. Yeah. Is there a way to put... no. code widget provides a code editor. It outputs the raw code value. So is this what we would use to embed a YouTube embed on the page or not? I do not know. So they can output the raw code value, which I think would execute on the page. It's not outputting it as plain text, so optional syntax awareness. I have no idea. Let's find out. We'll use code. Name widget code. Widgets code. Widget is code. Yeah, I don't think required's even something that we can use here. So stream embed. Just make the stream. All right. We need a body field. We need special guests and resources. These are all really simple. So body field. And then, well, the next two are kind of interesting. Because we need multiple values, special guests and resources. They should be able to have multiple values. So how do we do that? Do we want these to be strings? Because we want to be able to use, I think they should all be text. But how do we do multiple? Do we have to use an object? Multiple. I don't know. I don't know how we do multiple values for. You'd think you'd want multiple values to be available for any of these widgets. Common widget. Well, we can create custom widgets, it looks like. Relation widget allows you to reference items from other collections. Yeah, I was going to say, can we create an author syntax for this? Let's just use text for these for now. Okay. So what do we need? We need a, what do we call it? Special guests. We're just going to make this guests. And then what's the other one? Resources. So we'll do resources and we'll do yes. And we'll just leave all these as text. When we click save, we're going to get a cool, we're going to have a change to our CMS. Yes, we can create events now. Please don't blow up. Title, subtitle. These look fine to me. Date field, if I click on this, yeah, gives me a little calendar starting with today's month. Good job, Netlify. Location, so this can be, well, this isn't what we wanted. We wanted an editor. Does the Did the blog content type have an editor for the body field? Markdown is the widget that we want for a location. Markdown. Let's change it. We're also going to want markdown for body. And we're going to want markdown for guests. So if we have multiple values, and same thing for resources. These are going to be links, and we can't. I don't believe we can put links in just a regular text or string field. Markdown UI data type options. You can change the way the buttons that are available in the editor, because this is not just markdown. Like, you don't just put markdown in this text field and get no indication for how it looks. I think it actually gives you like a little WYSIWYG editor that essentially lets you put markdown. Yeah, so you get this WYSIWYG editor, and it effectively either displays as rich text or as markdown. So if you don't know markdown, that's fine. But markdown's super easy to learn if you don't. It looks like you can also add images to the markdown field. We don't want images in our location, so I think we can actually yeah, I believe we can remove that based on the buttons option. An array of strings representing the formatting buttons to display, all shown by default. Can we just do a... I don't see image in here. Shoot. Oh wait, editor components. An array of strings representing the names of editor components to display. NetlifyCMS includes image and code block. Editor components by default, and custom components may be created. So if we just do editor components false, we won't get any. There'll be nothing. Well, what do you think? You think it's gonna work, or do you think it's gonna break? I feel like it's gonna work. Editor components must be an array. So can we just do an empty array? How do we do an array? Like this? Yeah, I think. It's YAML. I always forget the YAML syntax. Yeah, boy. All right. So you can no longer add images to the location field. That makes me happy. We also don't want a bunch of other stuff in here, but we'll do that for another day. Featured image looks good. Stream embed. Yeah, you know, I'm not loving this. Might see if we can just make this a text field, and then maybe we can display the text field's value as code. So if you insert like the YouTube player embed code, maybe it'll just show up as code on the page. Body's fine. Yeah, again, guests and resources, we don't want image. We don't want an image available here, so it feels like there's a smarter way to do this stuff, but refreshed. All right, we don't have that stuff available anymore. We still want multiple NetlifyCMS field multiple values. How do we do that? I don't know. Architecting data in Eleventy. That's probably what we want. Multiple topics? No. We want values. Can we do values? So frustrating. If we can't figure this out, we definitely can have a text field where the editor is like, each line is a different guest, but yeah, that can create problems. People put whatever they want in this field, and it kind of breaks the guest display on the site. I prefer it if you could only put text and make segments of text links, which we can strip out all these widgets in this rich text editor, but I don't know if we can have like multiple versions of this guest field value. That would be nice, but so this is effectively functional, not great, but it is what it is. So basic pages, we have basic pages and events, and I think that's all I'm going to get to tonight. So I thought this was a repository already. No, there's a get in here. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to commit this stuff. So what changed in quick links? Yeah, we don't want this. Still don't understand. For some reason, Git's not working in this directory. Yeah, it's not working. Things have broken for no reason. Alright, we're going to add actually, we just want to add the config. That's all we want to add. We just changed config. So we're committing our changes to the config just to kind of stub out some content types. Tonight, that's all we're doing. We got a basic page and event. Cool. Push our code back up to GitHub. Anyways, that's all for tonight. Thanks for joining me for this very first stream of the KV